My name is Stephanie Loomis, and I am the Assistant Managing Attorney at Arch City Defenders.
Brendan Roediger, Professor of Law at St. Louis University.
I'm Nicole Cortez, and I'm a co-director and co-founder of the Migrant and Immigrant Community Action Project.
And I'm Jessica Mayo. I'm also a co-director and attorney at the Migrant Project.
I work to represent homeless people in the city of St. Louis. So I go into jails, I find homeless people who need representation. So that's the first part. Because generally the criminal justice system is a symptom of something else, a deeper socioeconomic problem going on. So in addition to handling the legal issue that a homeless person might be facing, we take a look at the social issue and try to address that as well, be it substance abuse, mental health, I have a lot of domestic violence victims who are in shelters and are homeless. So we try to get them services that they need so that they can exit homelessness and eventually exit the criminal justice system as well. So it's a twofold part. And a lot of times it becomes life and death because my clients are sleeping outside in frigid temperatures, they're going without food. So it becomes kind of an emotional journey, but it's very rewarding too as well. There's a ton of lawyers in this city and in this area who work with me to get great results for people who are struggling and to help lift them out of poverty. So to work in this community and to have these type of partners, it's really amazing.
One of the issues that came out of Ferguson was some level of dissatisfaction with municipal courts, especially among folks who have sort of spent years and sometimes decades in that cycle of owing money, going to jail, getting out and still owing money, going back to jail. And I think there was broad consensus that people should not be spending significant periods of time incarcerated over really minor municipal ordinance violations. So the question was, do we fix 83 courts one at a time, or do we really start to think bigger about how to transform this system into something that works? Systemic change really requires that everybody comes to the same table. And so my objective has been to involve the clinic and to involve community organizations and to involve everyone and to have a discussion about what a better system would look like. The Ferguson Commission, which was formed in the wake of the events of last August, one of their primary calls was to examine the municipal courts. They created a working group on municipal courts that I've participated in. And really my objective there was to bring my position to the table, which is that we're not going to fix this, as I said, 83 courts one at a time. We need to look to other states, we need to brainstorm, we need to come up with a system that can be effectively monitored and that can treat people fairly.
The Migrant Project is an organization that works with immigrants to overcome barriers to justice. So we do that principally through direct legal representation on immigration cases. So anything related to their immigration status or petitioning for a family member or those types of cases. But we also, in addition to the direct legal representation, do community education work.
There are a lot of really exciting moments. Certainly seeing families reunited, either across long distances or when someone's been detained, it's a huge highlight. I had one case in which a young child was able to join his mother here in the United States, and so getting to see them reunited was a really heartwarming experience, but also of course always accompanied a little bit by the frustration of how long the process takes and how difficult it is for people to achieve those goals, especially without legal representation.
Working with communities that are really sort of marginalized and oppressed, and being able to again stand with them and walk with them through a really complex system, helping give them agency and empowering them through the process of being able to secure something that's really life-changing. Lawful status and the different phases that can have throughout an immigrant's life all have a really huge impact just sort of on everyday existence for folks and their families, and that's really the rewarding thing I think about our work.
My advice would be to recognize that even the smallest thing can have a huge impact. Something that, you know, as a lawyer, I look at a municipal court case for a traffic ticket, and it's not a big deal. It doesn't take that much time. It's, you know, it's relatively, you know, pretty easy to navigate, but to the person that you're helping, it is everything. $200 to me might not be a big deal, but to my client who's trying to feed her 3 kids and, you know, survive, it's everything. So if you volunteer even a small amount of time, it can make a really big difference.
I think the advice is pretty simple, and that is rely on mentorship. Don't be afraid of anything, but also don't do anything on your own the first time. It's an opportunity to reach out to lawyers that you're impressed by and to say, I really like the work that you're doing. I would like to participate. I don't know how to do it. Can you teach me how? And I don't know any social justice oriented or public interest lawyers who are going to turn down that phone call. Those are the best phone calls that we get. So don't be afraid, but also don't rush in to save the day without talking to others.
I mean, for both of us, we feel like we created our dream job. We're doing work that we love and that we're passionate about. And I think it's really important that everyone is able to find something like that they feel really motivated and passionate about. So whether that's within their regular day job, or whether it's joining a board or doing pro bono work, or even just regular volunteer work with a nonprofit, but somehow having that thing that motivates you and drives you to move forward, so that you do feel like you're making progress and making a difference.